Fire.
What to you is financial independence?
What does this mean, financial freedom to you? Do you think it's a realistic goal for Gen Z?
Most of them have no clue what to do.
It's not just getting like 100 crores in your bank account, right? And then just like relaxing in Goa throughout your life.
Your fire number,
Yeah.
right? Which is when could you retire comfortably? And that number you mentioned was
And when it comes to FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early, there's a lot of focus on that retirement, right? And which I completely agree that for me also retirement doesn't mean that I will not do anything. I don't think I can spend a single day doing nothing. You have to do something productive, something you're passionate about. Obviously, my definition of retirement is to retire from a paid job where I have to work for pay, like work under a boss or work for some kind of income.
Exactly.
I should be able to follow my passion and go ahead and do it even if it's not making me active money or not making consistent money. That's fine. So like, you know, this whole thing of retiring early, I'm pretty sure you have come across in certain interactions where people I want to retire like in 5 years or 10 years.
Fire.
the concept of fire in our generation and even
Yeah,
in Gen Z has
yeah.
become super popular.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? And what to you is financial independence?
Sure. So I'll answer the second question first.
Sure.
So for me, look, the way I look at what I do in my life, right? So you wake up, you've got 16 hours at play.
Yep.
And what you do in those 16 hours should make you happy. It should give you the satisfaction that, yes, you know what, I am in control of my life.
Right.
The reality for most Indians today is that you work for sustenance. You're working because you've got to send your kids to school.
Yep.
You're working because you've got to be able to pay rent. You want to afford one holiday in a year.
Right.
And that's your basics, right? And everybody's working to achieve that.
Correct.
Then there are a few more privileged people who have bigger dreams and bigger ambitions that, Arey, mujhe startup kholna hai, so I want to be able to afford to, you know, take care of some expenses for a year or two so that I
Right.
can take that risk. Arey, mujhe content banana hai, right? It could be anything. So there
Right.
are dreams and you want to be able to achieve those. So I think for me, financial planning should essentially put me in a situation where I don't need to depend on a salary.
See, financial freedom is something which is a very, I would say, contrary topic, right? Because the thing is, what do we understand by financial freedom is something to get that money into your bank account, to your funds or that corpus, so that you need not do anything in your life, correct? And if someone is not doing anything in their life, like, will that person get bored? Of course, yes. You have to do something,
You have to
right?
do
It's not just getting like 100 crores in your bank account, right? And then just like relaxing in Goa.
Trying to retire early is probably not a sustainable goal, and some people are built different, right? So it may work for them.
Right.
When I speak about me personally, it's not. The way I look at it, I would want to do things that I enjoy on a daily basis so that I don't feel the need to retire.
Correct. Enjoying the journey rather
Exactly,
than the
right? It's
destination.
always that, because there'll always be a carrot dangling in front of your head at every single stage of life. Sustenance. I think that is essentially what I want to get to. So for me, if you were to personally ask me, that number would be somewhere in the range of about, in today's terms, 5 CR.
Correct.
So if in terms of my basic lifestyle, if I have about 5 CR and I invest it in the right places, I should be able to live the same standard of living month on month without really having to worry about basics.
Got it.
Then of course I'll need to plan if I need to make bigger purchases or whatever.
Right.
Fire, right? A couple of my friends have gone down that route.
Right.
And I honestly sometimes wonder, like, hey, is this, and when I look at this in the bigger picture, is this option available for Bharat? Or is this option available for everybody? I don't think so.
Even speaking about, let's say, the larger goals in life, right?
Yep.
Let's say retirement, planning for trips,
Yeah.
which might be mid, long term, or if you would like to sort of retire at 30, 40, whatever that might be for you, right? So how do you plan for reconcile those larger goals with your shorter term requirements that you have right now?
The early retirement part, I think I really firmly believe that you can't retire with just the right investment strategy. The inflow has to be something like a windfall. And I think I'm young enough personally, and I think she may feel the same way, and you may do as well, is that you're young enough to know that you still have a chance to have that windfall and to not optimize too much for where you allocate your assets. Right? That be extremely risky with getting your income and then keep it very, very safe, right? Like, you could start 3-4 businesses and be very risky that way and keep it all in the savings account. Right? Because that's probably, at this stage, that's probably more likely to get you retirement than to, how can I optimize my 1 lakh into 10 crores, for example.
That makes complete sense, and it all boils down to risk management.
Yeah.
And also diversification to some extent, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not
True.
putting all your eggs in one
different
basket.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Jinx.
At an early age, you guys can take more risk.
Exactly. You have time.
Correct. Because like once you have a family,
Yeah.
especially kids,
Yeah.
you can't afford to take risk.
Responsibilities, yeah.
The spouse will support you,
Yeah.
right? Because nowadays both the spouses are working,
Yeah.
right? But for kids, you can't take the risk,
Correct.
right?
So student life, according to you, is the best time.
I'll tell you one very practical problem which people have been facing.
Sure.
Most of them have no clue what to do. All they know is they would want to make some extra money.
कुछ तो करना है.
हाँ, पर क्या करना है, they have no clue.
Right.
They do not even know कि जो एक basic bare minimum skill हो सकती है, what are those?
Right.
So one bigger challenge comes there. First, when I was talking to all these people, this was a small template of conversation which I used to have.
Right.
One, I wanted all of them to create a list of 3 or 4 things which they are interested in.
Right.
Something जिसके बारे में आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा पता है. Even if it is maybe something not too much.
Right.
थोड़ा थोड़ा. At least आपको basic ideas हैं.
Correct.
You will create that list, and then based on that, on every single point you have mentioned, you give yourself a rating.
Right.
कि ऑन स्केल में भी से नॉलेज लेवल या फिर कंफर्ट लेवल या फिर इंटरेस्ट एरियाज में आप कितना रेट करोगे उसको.
Right.
वंस दे हैव दोज रेटिंग्स, दे विल बी हैविंग 2 ऑप्शंस इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम, द टॉप 2.
Right.
वो आपका शॉर्टलिस्ट हो गया. नाउ यू कैन जस्ट चूज वन. रैंडमली करना है तो रैंडमली, अदरवाइज बोथ. एंड देन नाउ यू नो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द एरिया यू विल हैव टू डेवलप ऑन. Then you will start learning more about it.
Right.
Once you know it, then you'll start exploring on what are the possible things you can do when you know about it.
Right.
Then you start exploring on कि क्या क्या ऐसी possible चीज़ें हैं या लोग हैं जिनको इस सर्विस की ज़रूरत हो सकती है.
Right.
In your case, अगर आप musician you wanted to be, right?
Yeah. I was in my college band, but didn't go beyond that.
Yeah. So one possible very much obvious answer is कि you can be a singer.
Yeah.
हर किसी के लिए it's not possible. So अगर आप वो नहीं बन सकते, what are the other possible things? One, of course, you can actually start being on social media. Once you be popular, of course, you can actually have brands and you can also make from ad revenues and all that.
Right.
That could also be a platform जो आपको कहीं ना कहीं help करेगा अपने आप को promote करने के लिए.
Right.
People will realize how good you are, and then you will start getting calls of maybe say being booked by pubs and clubs, and possibly maybe say very soon by some bands, and then later on you can actually have your shows as well. So this could be just the starting. Or you can also start teaching people, because as they say, like the best way to make money online is to teach others on how to make money from it.
Right.
So you can start making your courses, how to be a singer,
Right.
or how you can actually be maybe say like you can start singing in Bollywood,
Right.
possibly make courses even when you are not able to do it. You might be a failure for yourself, but then you could be possibly maybe say a right mentor for a
Right.
lot of people who are looking for that basic piece of information.
Another very important component for your finances specifically is the passive income component, which I think not just from your investments in property rental income, but you do have a lot of passive income coming from your sort of side gigs as well, side hustles as well. So I think, again, no sort of one size fits all, but there are sort of things that each person does with their finances where you can learn a thing or two from. Right, and you can see what works for you and implement it accordingly in your case. Especially for our younger audiences, right? We try to tell them that early in your career, when you sort of need more flexibility with your money, don't go for investments that lock your money in for a very long time, right? अगर आप SIP भी कर रहे हो, make sure that if 1 or 2 months SIP miss हो जाती है, कोई बात नहीं. अगर आप स्टॉक बेस्ड म्यूचुअल फंड्स में कर रहे हो, वो लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट है, बट अगर इमरजेंसी आती है तो दैट शुड स्टिल बी लिक्विड as much possible, right? So I think that's one thing that you should strive for early in your career, and even later on जब आप अच्छा खासा कॉर्पस बिल्ड कर लो अपने लिए, एटलीस्ट मेक श्योर कि 10 to 20% ऑफ दैट कॉर्पस इज इन अ वेरी लिक्विड प्लेस, राइट? इंस्टेड ऑफ स्ट्रेट अवे थिंकिंग कि ये रिटायरमेंट के लिए, दैट्स नॉट प्रैक्टिकल.
Do you think it's a realistic goal for Gen Z?
I would say not completely, but partially.
Partially.
Right.
How do they do that?
And that will take time. Be consistent, be patient. And the thing is, like, even if you are having a smaller salary, upskill yourself, upgrade yourself. Try to have like multiple sources of income. Don't just depend upon a job or a single source of income, ideally. Have multiple sources of income.
Yeah.
Try to start up a small venture. Here I'm not saying being like Ubers or Olas of the world, right? But at least having a small venture where you guys can earn a side income.
Your FIRE number,
Yeah.
right? Which is when could you retire comfortably? And that number you mentioned was 5
Yeah,
crores.
yeah.
So just for the sake of our audience, if you were to just do a simple calculation there, let's say on average, you think that your monthly expenses would be 4 lakhs, right? That comes to annual of about 48
Yes.
lakhs. And 48 lakhs compared to 5 crores is about 10%.
Exactly.
So if you were to withdraw 10% out of your portfolio needs to be built such that gives you at least 12 to 13%
Yeah,
returns,
yeah.
which is very doable,
Doable, yeah.
with very balanced mutual funds.
Exactly.
All
At
the other
least
portfolios.
until now,
Yep,
if you look at mutual funds, 14-15% returns
absolutely.
are passed, right?
Very
so
doable.
hota hai.
Bilkul.
Unless taxation changes drastically where it's
Yeah.
impacting your numbers, should be doable.
True that. So that's one thing that you guys could use, right?
Yeah.
That how much are your monthly expenses,
Yes.
and you extrapolate from
Yeah.
there what that FIRE number is
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah.
So do that and see if the 40 or 35 or 30, even 30 is achievable for you. I think that's the key
Absolutely,
takeaway.
Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's not gonna make you rich.
Yeah, just because it's simple, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's ineffective.
It's not exactly.
If
right?
anything, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's simple and
yeah.
super effective.
super
and
effective. And I think most of financial planning, or even achieving your financial goals, is more about discipline than anything else. If you just follow a certain discipline consistently over a period of 10 years, 20 years, it will take you a long way compared to someone who has done something very fancy for a few years and then just let go, right?
Yeah, and I think don't overcomplicate
Exactly.
stuff.
Be more daring.
Mm-hmm.
Back yourself.
Right.
And what do you think you don't know, or what you think people are better at? Everybody thinks that. Everybody deals with imposter syndrome.
Right.
So just get out there, show up, and hustle your way, and you'll figure it out.
Right, showing up. Right,
Yes,
I think
that's
that's
it,
the key word.
yes.
So, guys, everyone, just show up at what you do,
Yeah,
and I'm sure
yeah.
you'll succeed. And just a quick thing to leave you with. So, you can actually book a 30-minute free consultation call with either me or my co-founder. And this is if you have any burning questions about money, finances, or in general. Come block our time. The link will be there in the description.